Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Sherry Reeves. I'm the Executive Director for the Manufacturers Association of Central Florida. And this is an exciting time for us because October is Manufacturing Month. And I would like to welcome our host, Data Graphics, Brad Butterstein, who is the president and is going to share some exciting careers that you can partake in. Brad, over to you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. As Sherry said, Manufacturing Month, we're excited to share what Data Graphics does, what opportunities are within Data Graphics, the environment we operate in, kind of give you a little bit of background of Data Graphics. I'm the president of Data Graphics, and we also have Buffy Carroll, who's our VP of Sales. So she's the face of Data Graphics, out getting all our customers and leading the sales charge, going forward. And it's definitely interesting times with COVID going on all this year. So, we're finding our footing here and, moving forward. So we'll get right into the slides. We'll have some Q&A later. We've got a few videos so folks can kind of see the facility, see some different things that we have, and we'll answer some questions at the end. So Sherry, MACF as well as MAF up in Tallahassee, we appreciate you having Data Graphics part of Manufacturing Month. So we'll go to the next slide and we'll get started. So Data Graphics has been around 36 years, started in '84 by a gentleman named R.K. Welter. We've got about 65 employees now. In 1999, R.K. Welter's son, Bobby, took over as president, and then I assumed Bobby's role in 2016. We became ISO quality certified in 2000. And then in 2007, Bobby's brother Mike started our DG promotions area, and we'll see a little bit about our promotional products as well during the slideshow. We became AS 9100 certified in 2009, which is an aerospace certification. So we'll talk about some of our certifications as we go on here, how Data Graphics differentiates themselves from our friendly competitors, and how we can gain some of that business by using these certifications. We did some major renovations back in 2013, and we're constantly upgrading our equipment, the facility, as well as adding personnel to the mix to move the mission forward. So we're currently at about 25,000 square feet on 2 buildings up here in Mount Dora, Florida, up in Lake County. So we'll go to the next slide. Here on the one picture, you'll see Tim Shepard. He actually was our first employee. Mixing ink. He's been here 36 years, same year that the company was started, and he's still here mixing ink for us. And then on the right-hand side there, you'll see part of our shipping area where we put on all our packages that were proudly made in the USA, no matter where the packages go. And we also put a DG difference sticker on our boxes to let folks know that they're getting a product that they're experiencing the DG difference. So let's go ahead and look at that YouTube video, and that will give you a little background of what we do.
This is John Criswell. Welcome to Manufacturing Month. Labels are used everywhere on just about
so you can see that video there kind of gives you a broad range of what we do in the screen printing area. We made that video just a few years ago. It does not have our promotions division in that video, but we'll talk a little bit about those, what we do over there coming up. And the crazy thing is when I watch that video, you hear the cliche saying, you know, the only thing constant is change. And that video was only a few years old, and a lot of that technology in that has been upgraded currently. A lot of those rooms where those machines are housed, we've made way for new equipment. We've turned the equipment around. So, you know, the biggest thing I think with one of the biggest things with the manufacturing environment is you got to be flexible. You got to come in with a positive attitude and be willing to change. Our customers' demands in the current environment are ever changing, and the folks that are going to rise up to those demands and be flexible and come up with solutions for those customers are the ones that are going to earn the business and move forward. And I think since the start of COVID, this group here of employees have been very flexible, and we've been able to work our way through COVID back from March, when pretty much the whole global economy came to a screeching halt and things started opening back up, and we're seeing a bunch of stabilization now. So I'm going to turn it over to Buffy, and she's going to talk about what we do in the different divisions and give you some examples of our product.
Good morning, everyone. We're extremely excited to be a part of this. And it's a little unique for us to be able to do this tour virtually, but we do love to give tours to our facility as well. Data graphics on the printing side for labeling and product identification, we offer a variety of different items. Nameplates might be a metal placard. Overlays would be something like on your microwave, the buttons you press to turn that on. A decal would be a warning, caution, danger label that you might see providing, information about voltage before you plug something in. Roll labels. A UID barcode is something that it's a type of 2D barcode that we've been printing now since 2008. The Department of Defense requires any asset that's over $5,000 to be marked with this barcode. QR codes, which we're all familiar with now that our menus must be scanned. There's laser cut prototypes that we offer. We have a variety of different types of lasers here and can do some quick turns with those. Metal photo is a photosensitive anodized aluminum that is also required by the Department of Defense. It can last outdoors for over 25 years. Digital printing is just a unique method of printing that we offer. 4-color process. And UL labels, again, when I mentioned, not being able to plug something in without a warning or caution. UL is a third-party laboratory that does the testing for that, and we are an authorized UL label supplier, as well as CSA, which we've not added to the list just yet. Our promotional side, we screen print T-shirts, we embroider polos, just like what Brad and I have on today, team uniforms and jerseys, embroidered hats. We offer, printed pens, flash drives, banners, and signs, and have a website where you can actually design your own, designmyshirt.com. So anything you would get at a trade show, we most likely can offer those things. Next slide. These are just some photographs of different types of labeling that we have provided, anywhere from Department of Defense related weapons. The one in the middle is a thermometer that checks your meat temperature or the oil temperature for your French fries at McDonald's, which we can all relate to. On the right, we've got an ice machine that you might see in a hotel or a restaurant. And then down in the bottom, we've got a swimming pool chlorinator that you would see at Aquatica. Controls the chlorination of the pool. So next slide. Again, more products with our labels. On the left, an Apache helicopter, a Faro arm down on the bottom left. And on the right, bottom right, is the chopper, the Lake Orange County. I almost said Lake County. Orange County, California, actually, chopper, where the Faro arm is used to make sure that everything goes where it's supposed to and measured and calibrated correctly. The top right is an example of the UID barcode I mentioned. This is what tags every military asset over $5,000. Next slide.
Yep. All right, so you can see our products are in various different applications, from aerospace, defense, the military. We've got medical, we've got commercial applications. So, next time if you've seen the video now and you've seen some of these slides, you'll be looking at labels a lot different ways. So everything's built to print right to the engineer spec. We left this slide up on here. This video is I don't think is linked on here, but we do have a wide range in the audience, and I think I saw Erica on there from Lake County. So hey, Erica, and this is a video that we've done. Erica and the group at Lake County Economic Development has been a great supporter of data graphics, in our mission here in Lake County, as well as beyond in Central Florida. So you can see some more examples on the left there. We've got an almost 30-year employee, been here almost 30 years, inspecting the parts at the end of the line. And on the right, we've got one of our employees, Shane, actually die cutting the parts. So, there's printing, there's die cutting, there's lasers, there's CNC machines, all those different areas, as well as what any business would have, Salesforce, an accounting department, an HR department, accounts payable, accounts receivable. We've got an IT department handling all the computers and the IT. So let's go to the next slide here. These are several of the certifications. Some of them are in the video already, and we've talked about some of these, but this is the competitors. Different printers will try to go into different market niches, what they want to focus on. We've got a broad range of certifications. So when Buffy and the crew will either, it used to be go into the accounts, but with COVID now there's a lot of the visits. You can't do that anymore. So we have been running an online Google campaign for probably about 12, 13 years. So we ramped that up even more during COVID, but the conversation won't even get started unless you can say, hey, I've got this certificate, and you can come to the table with that certificate, and then you can get a drawing, you can get an opportunity to quote. So those are the various certifications we have for the different industries that we're in. You can go to the next slide. You want to talk about the capabilities?
Sure. Brad kind of already mentioned some of these, but we've got conventional screen printing, which is, and then the UV screen printing option where the inks cure by light. So we've got both of those here in our facility. Some customers have preferences, and they both provide unique applications. We also have a variety of different ways that we can digitally print. Up to 4 foot by 8 foot on our wide format UV digital press, as well as 2 HP Indigo presses that provide extremely good quality and can print on a variety of substrates. Hot stamp printing is where a metal plate gets heated up to 250 degrees and comes down and stamps onto a colored foil and makes an impression on a roll of material. Lexography uses water-based inks also on a roll, and we use that for high volume labels where we're printing 100,000 to 1 million different labels at one time. Thermal printing is a printer that might go on the end of a machine or the beginning of a machine, where it will print a barcode or serialization or unique information that needs to be applied at the time of printing. Metal photo, we briefly mentioned as well. That's again used primarily for our Department of Defense military aerospace customers. We can laser etch using our lasers, as well as cut some thinner substrates. And our CNC machine is a Datron brand that engraves into thick metal, acrylic, and other plastics. And we use all of those every single day, and it's amazing to all of us here that, how many labels go on products around, a point of purchase and other equipment. Next slide. Oh.
Yeah, so real quick on this slide here, where the folks that part of the group that are saying, hey, what type of experience do I need to have to run some of these machines? How do I, learn how to screen print or, hot stamp or those sorts of items? A lot of it, we will train. We have a process in place that we call the 3 A's. It's attendance, attitude, and action. That are in school that are on the call here, you got to be at school, you got to be there on time. You got to have a good attitude. So no matter what happens outside the workplace, we try to ask folks to, keep that outside the workplace, and we want to create a positive learning environment here and have a good attitude. And then action will be doing the job description. We put that forth, and we expect people will train, you learn, we'll walk you down the path, that sort of thing. And then, it's your job at that point to do the job description and carry it forward. There are some areas, say, skilled trade behind it. We have hired a couple folks that have a CNC certificate and degree from Lake Tech here locally. So they're already trained. They come in with their certificate and they got right into the mix. Of course, other areas in the business, such as like maybe accounting, finance, or the IT area, you have to have a background in that before we come in, say in IT, and just put you on a cybersecurity project. But a lot of the areas will train people with good attitudes, and will show up and try to make a difference as well. Let's hit the next slide there. Yeah.
The industries we serve really do range. Defense military, due to the certifications that Data Graphics has invested in, such as AS9100 and ISO. So that allows us to work with companies like Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon. Those are some of the larger ones. And I have already mentioned aerospace, telecommunications, medical, OEM. So it could be a company that manufactures forklifts or medical equipment that you would see at the doctor's office when you go. So anything that requires identification to their product, think label, Data Graphics. Emotional side, everyone needs that. Any type of business that wants to gain additional business needs to promote themselves. So you might be thinking, any type of corporation, schools, school uniforms, for example, the school brag store or at a sporting event, churches, medical offices, charity organizations of any kind, county or local organizations. So the Lake County Sheriff's Office, for example, is here regularly to pick up their uniforms.
There we go. So, we offer a host of benefits for our DG family out there. We try to compete with businesses that are, much larger than the 65 to 70 that we have. So, full health, dental, vision with a 25% match. So we push that retirement for folks to save for their future. Folks want to take Financial Peace University, the Dave Ramsey course will reimburse for that. We also offer a partial tuition reimbursement plan, not only for employees, but the family or the kids of the employees. So we've put or helped put several of the children of employees here through schooling. We do a monthly profit sharing and annual profit sharing. We've got a company lunch that we typically do. We've got a donut truck coming on site tomorrow. Have some donuts. We took everybody to, we shut down early on Friday at 2, and did a company movie here locally in Mount Dora just to kind of give everybody a break. We went and saw Gremlins, old movie.
Not that old, Brad.
Yeah.
1984. That's when Data Graphics started.
Yeah.
Before they were born.
Yeah. So anniversary, milestone gifts, birthday gifts. We try to be flexible with our family hours for family events, and we also give some referrals for people that bring in sales. So we're all kind of in that revenue sales process. Next slide. We're active in the manufacturing community, so any business that I think that folks join, they have a responsibility to the community in which they operate, giving back. So, Sherry's group of the Manufacturers Association of Central Florida, been a part of that for 20 plus years, won the Small Manufacturer of the Year a couple times. Manufacturers Association of Florida out of Tallahassee in 2016 was part of that award, as well as the runner-up for the Sterling Business Excellence Award. And then we just got notified recently in the 2019, a little bit behind with COVID, so we're almost through 20 here, a Lockheed Martin Small Business Supplier Award, which was a big to-do for us, as well as Boeing. You probably heard of Boeing, either the Apache helicopter, the planes that are out there. We won their gold supply. Try to bring in representatives local here so they can, all employees can have a voice here locally. You'll see the picture there. He was U.S. representative back then, but now Governor Ron DeSantis in the top picture there. And then, as we mentioned, hired some Lake Tech grads. We try to be as charitable as we can in the organization, supporting the schools and the environment around us. And then we've also partnered with UCF's MBA program as well. Next slide, please.
So part of our workforce focus, we offer cross-training programs for our employees. So on our sales team here at Data Graphics, part of their training is to go out on our production floor and spend a day with each of the departments, from our production control, where they write up the work orders and how it's going to be manufactured through our facility. It might be our art department, where the graphic design is done and prepared for screen printing or digital. Then they would travel into our screening department, digital department, fabrication, where the parts are cut or the adhesive is assembled, and then on to our quality team, where there's inspections done. We do 100% inspection on all the parts that then we have employees that are cross-trained to, if we've got somebody out, we're a small business, so it does affect us when an employee or two are down in a department. So it's helpful to have those backups in shipping, especially. That's the end of the line, where if he doesn't show up for his job that day, somebody's got to be able to ship those parts out. And we have a lot of specific requirements for some of those customers we've mentioned, that somebody just walking up to a computer and putting something in a box, it's not that easy. So many of our positions, although we train internally, are very specialized. Our average stay here at Data Graphics is over 10 years. Both Brad and I have been here over 20. We do have local students come in during the summer, and when those times are typically our busiest, they'll come in and help out. And we offer manufacturing days, such as this one. Schools and different programs to come in and take a tour through our facility. We have a Q&A session, and they get to ask questions, as well as we'll go to the school and do the same. But it's kind of nice to actually see it, because to see a label or an overlay made from start to finish is quite different than probably anything you've seen before. You don't take them for granted any longer, for sure. I know I don't. We offer team building events as well with our employees here. It might be for an individual department, but in the past, we've done scavenger hunts through our facility and create teams with employees that don't usually work together. So that way we can build morale, and you get to know the people you work with. We've played Family Feud. We've had magician on site. Where we'll go off-site, or they'll either come here, and at our Christmas party, that seems to be the theme here lately. Everybody enjoys making fun of Brad, usually. We've had, he mentioned the donut truck coming tomorrow, but we also, a favorite is the ice cream truck.
He'll be here in November.
Alrighty, next slide.
All right, so this is one of my favorite slides, and Sherry and I talked the other day because the one we had was a couple years old, so this is more updated information here too. So folks typically ask, hey, what's the average annual wage? Of course, it varies within the business there, but if you can look at those categories on that slide, down from the leisure and hospitality at the bottom all the way up to information at the top part. One of the exciting things for us is that manufacturing ranks, towards the top. So folks with skills, folks that are willing to learn. Manufacturing's the backbone here. I think we saw seeing. Fortunately, we were deemed essential. With the military work, the defense work, that sort of thing. So, we clipped right along here at Data Graphics. We hit some bumps in the road like most, but we're able to maintain operations and move forward. And if you see that number there, wages. Keep in mind too, a slide just a few slides ago, we talked about we had the 401k. We've got all the major medical, the health benefits, that sort of thing that would be part of that compensation package as well. So I think Sherry's proud. I think we're proud of having manufacturing rank as one of the top areas for the state in terms of those wages. Next slide. So DG difference is one of our things that we kind of push out, saying, hey, when you do business with Data Graphics, it's more than a transaction. We're just not looking for that purchase order from you, and it's only that purchase order. We're looking for that ongoing relationship, those employees that are here 10 plus years. In fact, today we've got somebody that hit their 30-year anniversary today of the 36 years that we've been open for Data Graphics. So when you get the responses come back from folks that say we're quick to respond, we're on top of things, we continually provide high quality products that are delivered on time, our customer service and response is impeccable, our enthusiasm and professionalism, all that is, it's our follow through is very uncommon. So that speaks to our processes, our policies, our procedures, but what that mostly speaks to, I think, is our people. That's what makes that DG difference, so unique here. Companies can put in policies, procedures, or processes on a piece of paper, but if we don't have the good different functions and in that area and working together, you're not going to get that DG difference. So. A
big part of that is respect, a respect for one another here at Data Graphics. I mean, a lot of us, you saw that our annual or our average is 10 years for an employee stay. But as long as we respect one another and, are interested in what each other is doing and have a passion for what you do, I think that's a big part of the DG difference. And another thing our customers always say is our communication. Although the communication is typically coming from, our salespeople or myself and Brad reaching out to the customer, but that's a big part. Communication and respect, I think, are a huge part of that DG difference.
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of us have grown up in the business. As Buffy said, both of us have been here over 20 when I started a few years ago. But truly, a lot of us have grown up in this business and have seen it grow, and we've had the opportunity. So, one of the things that I typically say to the group is, there's a lot of choices that you can make out there for businesses to work for. And I always put an emphasis on small business. There's opportunity in small business. You don't always have to work for a business that has, 50,000 employees or 100,000 employees, although those are good businesses as well. Everybody's filling a need. But when you look at something, don't necessarily rule out a small business or a small manufacturer. As you can see from our slides here, we try to offer what some of the bigger companies offer. And, a lot of times here, we can make decisions quickly. We don't have to wait till that, big cruise ship has to turn, and it turns very slowly, and you got to go through several hurdles on it. We're more like a small speedboat. If we see something that we need to change to take care of a customer, we can change it very quickly. We can change it that day. Get the customer taken care of. So recently we were in the Golden 100 in the Orlando Business Journal. So we snuck right in there at number 90. Let's go ahead and take a look at that YouTube video that we got there for a couple minutes, and then we'll take some questions and give some do some Q&A. All right, and I think we're the next slide's the ending here. So a little bit different here doing it virtually versus actually being face to face and on site, but hopefully we did a little bit of justice that you can learn a little bit about more about data graphics as well as manufacturing, the manufacturing environment here and what we have to offer, and that if you've taken away at least one piece of information and learn something today. I think that's really our goal. So either Sherry or Amanda will come back over to you if we got any questions that we can answer.
Hey, Brad, where's the pizza? We usually get pizza.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so if we do it, if it's on site, face to face, we feed you at the end. So maybe next year. Maybe we're hoping next year.
Hoping. So I have a question. Do you offer internships or apprenticeship programs?
Yes, I think, Sherry, under the current environment, we've kind of halted that at this point, just with the current environment with COVID. But I would say once we're through this, and again, hopefully, looking into 2021, we would be open to that. We've been open to it in the past. We've had people come in and either, shadow for a day, for a week, work for a summer with us. We would be open to doing something like that, looking, past whenever COVID, comes to a close.
Right. So let me ask you, Brad, what's your entry level position when you're talking salary and pay range?
Yeah. So people come in and they got a good positive attitude, action, attendance with it. We're going to be probably in the $14 to $15 an hour range just to start right out of the chute. So if you look at minimum wage in the $8 range, you talk about minimum wage and a livable wage. Minimum wage is not a livable wage. We want folks to be able to, put the food on the table, to at least start. We don't want them to have, the stresses, outside the business that they bring into into work, that sort of thing. And then you add into our monthly profit sharing and our annual profit sharing, which we say is not on autopilot. We had to halt it probably, I couldn't remember the last time. It was probably 08, 09 when we had that little bump in the road that everybody encountered. We've had that going every month and every year since. We did halt that for a few months here when COVID, just to keep everything in the positive, but it's back up. That's yielded an additional average about $3,000 to $4,000 a year on top of that, $14, $15 an hour. So, you're looking at to start out 30 to 35, and that doesn't matter, if you're on the production floor or in other different areas. Of course, if you bring some experience or there's some sort of skill, you just go up from there. The average hourly wage here at Data Graphics is, I want to say, around $18.50 an hour.
Well, it sounds like you're offering a career to students and not just a job.
That's it. That's the goal. We want folks to come in. Sometimes we may get accused of chaining people to the press or the desk because we want them to stay. But I think the key, again, is it's being flexible. Life happens. So when someone's got, an issue with a family member, a child, an elderly parent, that sort of thing, we want to talk those things out and see if we can't work a schedule change, a flexible schedule, or, a day off here or there, that sort of thing. So, life's bigger than just the business, right? And if they're happy outside work, that will translate into the business.
And while we do offer career, we also offer a great working environment. Brad mentioned, if there's something with the kids. So, our sales team, for example, is made up of 10 ladies who are all mothers. And, at some point, our kid's going to be student of the month or the alternative. And we've got to escape for an hour to make sure we're in that audience, celebrating our child and being there for them. So Data Graphics encourages us to go be a part of that. And there's never a question as to can we. It's go do it. So.
Excellent. So Amanda, do you see any questions?
Oh, we have some questions, she says. Yeah. So let's see if we...
It's right here.
Oh, right here. Okay. Okay, so we got the how much money are you to make each year? I think we kind of hit that up. Here, let's list thing you guys have what is the coolest machine in the building?
So,
some of the military stuff.
Right. So the coolest machine in our building, I think, is our digital presses, or maybe the laser presses. But I'm very fortunate that I get to go out and visit our customers and tour their facilities. So a lot of the labels, some pretty cool equipment. There's the helicopters, the defense helicopters. I've climbed inside of a Bradley vehicle or an Abrams military tank. So, I have a little blog called Heroes that take us to our customers. And I don't know, those are the most fascinating. Plus, we know what they're for. They're helping the war fighter. And just knowing we're a little part of that, it makes it all.
For me as well is the military, the defense items. Some of the things we can't tell you what we're on with the confidentiality agreements, but again, knowing that you're a piece of defending freedom. We've seen items on some of the nighttime shows when these reporters are following in tanks and walking through landmines with, using detections for landmine detection and that sort of thing there. How much do the machines cost to purchase for the company? So, question. We've got close to about $4 million worth of machinery here. Machines can be, we've got lasers in here that are $35,000 to $40,000 each for those lasers, although lasers can go up to several $100,000 depending on what you want. Probably our highest costing piece of machinery is our digital presses, our Indigos. The new one, the new generation of that is in the 400,000s. So they range anywhere from, I'd say 20, 30,000 all the way up to, going on close to $500,000. All right, we got some good questions here. What was your guys' first?
Here's one I think is important. Do you have to be 18 in order to be hired part-time for students still in high school?
No, and we've had students that have come over and helped work, in the afternoons or in the summers, that sort of thing. So, no, we're good to go there. Are you scrolling through some of these as well, I guess, here?
Yeah, because Anthony Rodriguez has some really good questions, and Marlene also has some really good questions.
Yeah, okay, so we just answered that one.
Right.
Hey, Yolanda, how are you? You're welcome. Talk about money there. How much money? How long has the business been open? 36 years. Do you recommend a certain college in order to be high on the list for a job offer? For me, I think, again, it depends on what area of the business that somebody wants to go into. So if somebody wants to get into accounting, having an accounting certificate, maybe at a local community college would even be, solid enough there. The CNC at Lake Tech was definitely a key for both of the folks that we've got out there running those.
It just really depends what you're interested in. And our sales team, they've got to, know how to use Microsoft, Excel, Word, type an email. Spell check is important. And that's one key right there. I will say, if you're putting a resume together, have somebody else have multiple people look at your resume and just, double check for misspellings or, make sure it flows well. So. Yep.
Do you guys make labels for the theme parks?
We do. So one of the photos on our slide was for the Aquatica. We've seen our labels at Universal on surge protection devices. Disney. Yeah. So just around here locally, we're so fortunate to be in Central Florida. And a lot of times we don't even know what our labels go on. They look really cool and they stick, but we don't always know where they go.
Where are your customers.
We ship all over the world. Last year, I visited myself 20 states and 2 countries. We go into Mexico every year. We have quite a handful of customers across the border there. And we ship to Singapore, Japan, China, all over Europe, South America. So yeah, we're a global manufacturer, global supplier. So
Yep. So here's a little bit more. Go
Sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, another question here from Anthony. Do you provide Lean or Six Sigma training?
Yeah, and that was the one I was just looking at too. So, great minds think alike right there. We don't provide the formal training here on site. However, we would, use an outside group to do that. We do run a 5S program here. Program, nothing that's been certified, but just like that area, as well as other areas, if folks want to advance themselves and get some of that training, or we feel that they need that training, we'll go ahead and schedule that and definitely put the effort in there. So, for example, our Indigos, our digital presses, there's training. The headquarters for that group is out of Atlanta. So our current operator went and got his level 1 certified HP Indigo operator certificate. That was about $10,000 when you bake in all the costs. So, so between the hotel, the expenses, as well as the class, the meals, he was gone for about a week taking that, and that was about 10 grand. So we definitely want to invest in those types of things. And I think we got some more questions coming in. No labor union. So Shane, no, there's not a labor union.
We're here in Outdoor, Florida, and we do not have a second facility.
Yeah, so we're up in Mount Dora. Hey Jim, I saw your email this morning too. Thanks for joining. Yeah, we appreciate it. How many years in experience do you need for this? We've got 65 employees, and I think the question, or how many the experience, I think that may be on the side of it just depends on what position that you're coming in at. Some of it's no experience. Again, just the 3 A's: the attitude, the attendance, and the action.
Sometimes it's nice not to have somebody that's created habits and things, so you get a fresh slate there. Our sales team, for example, we do on-site training. Sumter Professor N to work with our team on Microsoft Excel. We find a good book and we read it together as a group. We put that time aside. We just read the Energy Bus, which was a great book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And then we talk about it. So
yeah. And Anthony's got another question on there, which is very timely there on how many SKUs in our business, because we created a position about a year ago for a project manager. So as the business grows, we've got all these great ideas, but how do we actually implement them? How do we benchmark them? How do we start them and follow actual points throughout the process and close those out and get those going? So our project manager actually just ran our SKUs the other day, and it's all custom product. We've got about 55,000 SKUs in the system. Now they're not all active, currently, but at some point they were. So 55,000 different combinations, different SKUs in the system.
So
yeah, you saw another one?
Yeah.
Labor union.
So let me ask Amanda, how are we doing on time, Amanda?
Hey, you guys are good. We had it scheduled until 11:12, but if the students still want to ask questions, you guys are fine to keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this one. What was your first impression of working there, and has it changed since then?
Well, I was, 24 years old when I came here to data graphics and about label manufacturing. I had to learn about the materials and what adhesives and chemistries worked for different surfaces, because we would use one adhesive or offer an adhesive for something that was sticking to ABS plastic, and then we'd offer a different adhesive for something sticking to a powder coated metal. So I was very overwhelmed, but they all made me feel very, very comfortable. We were a lot smaller then, about 20 employees, and but it's nice to see it grow. You know, it's grown, and our teams coming in now are people coming in now 3 or 4 times the amount of materials that we offer.
Yeah, and I think my impression was that it was a good place to work and there's good opportunity. And I still think that to this day. You know, we don't claim to be the biggest or the best, but we just try to do the right thing. Our on-time delivery is our on-time delivery is about 97% to our customers. Our quality to our customers about 99.5%. But we always can enhance that. You know, your goal is always 100%. You know, COVID threw a wrench at a lot of us, but I think it provided opportunity for us. We gained the most number of new customers in a month. I think
during COVID.
During COVID, I think it was in May, and then we go around in June, and we eclipse that number of new customers that we set in May. So 2 records in a row during COVID. So I think if you look, you know, it's a lot like life. If you look at it in a positive way, I mean, you got a couple choices, and we run town hall meetings. Now they're outside by the flagpole with social distancing and all that sort of stuff in place. But, you know, we say to the group, hey, man, we got 2 choices here. You know, we can curl up in a ball, lay on the ground, and COVID can happen, and we do nothing. Or we can look this thing, you know, square in the face, and we can wake up each morning and come in and give it the best run we can give it. And I think that's what this group has done. I've said to several people, I said, hey, what's the biggest thing you've learned through COVID? And I think a lot of people are looking for a business answer. You know, hey, it's cash flow this, or it's sales this, or it's something on the financial statements. But I think what I've learned is this group's flexible, and we've got a great group of employees that have woken up each day, came in, have been thankful, have risen to the occasion. You know, most of the folks with the kids and during COVID, they wanted to come into work. You know, hey, can I be a teacher for a few days a week? And then I've got a relative that can watch my kids for a few days. Can I come in? We did the remote thing, that sort of thing. So we've been flexible, and I think there's still opportunity going forward. And if you lose in anything you do, that passion or that thought that there's not further other opportunity, it's time to, you know, throw that towel in. You got to constantly, you know, sharpen that saw and look for that opportunity.
Lots of passion in manufacturing.
Yes.
And opportunity. Opportunity. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And Robin, thanks for attending, and you know, we're happy to do the presentation for sure.
Do we keep an inventory of finished goods, or is everything build to order? Mm-hmm. So we are a custom build to print manufacturer. However, there are certain materials we know that are going to be used regularly, as we have customers that buy in patterns, and we know that we need to keep X amount of sheets of black anodized aluminum on hand, because the lead time to get it here is sometimes longer than the lead time we provide our customers, which is 2 weeks or less. So Brad and the purchasing team have come up with a list of materials that we do keep on hand. We don't put labels in stock. We do not put finished product in stock. Adhesive has shelf life, which is a whole different
presentation.
Yes, it's a whole different presentation that we continue to have with our customers. But you know, we can't build ahead because, you know, hoping they buy it. Plus, we can't sell something that says Komatsu and put it on the shelf and sell it to Lockheed Martin, for example. A lot of the labeling we do here has our customers' logos, and they like to change colors. They like to change the way their logos look. So
keeping you on your toes, Buffy.
I know it's definitely fun.
Yeah.
And
So,
I think that's the one thing, Brad, that I can say, you know, in manufacturing is that every day is a different day.
It
You know,
is.
it's not a boring job. There's always change. There's always new things to learn. And that's the great thing about manufacturing. It's never boring.
That's it.
and I would say, you know, to the students, if you get an opportunity to visit a manufacturing site, regardless of what they're making, and getting to see a product from start to finish, where it starts in, you know, from the admin up front answering the phone, the receptionist, to sales, to, you know, PC where it gets written up, the art department, if it's got some graphics and screening for us, fabrication. You will learn so much in that short amount of time about a product. So.
Yep. I think that was the last of the questions, Sherry. I think there.
Well, great. Again, I just want to thank you guys, Data Graphics, you, Buffy, and Brad, your team. You know, there you guys always do a great job, not only for the schools in Manufacturing Month, but for the community. You guys give back, and I think that comes back full circle with the type of company that DG is. I'd like to thank the students for taking the interest in coming and learning about, you know, a manufacturing company. There's all kinds of cool jobs. Like Brad said, he's the president, Buffy's in sales, HR, finance, all kinds of cool jobs. And of course, the manufacturing floor itself. So I'd like to thank everyone who attended today. And Amanda Starling, thank you for hooking us all in together, making this possible.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great day. Make it a good week. And we'll see you soon. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.